I'm Dave Curriton from the band IO Earth, and you're watching and listening to liveprog.com, and you should get on there and check it out. It's cool.
Tonight, the battle has been joined.
Hey, I saw you up there. Boy, you put on a show. With all your usual cronies basking in your glow. Said what they wanted to hear, but not what I wanted to know.
Okay, a live prog interview with Mr. Paul Menel,
Hi.
Mr. Steve Harris, and Mr. John Jowett.
Hello.
After an amazing show in the boerderij, of course. Well, I'm very curious, and I'm still wondering where to go. But I want to go back a little bit to the past, because you sang with IQ. How did you end up with IQ?
I auditioned.
Okay.
Pete Nichols left. I joined. Simple as that. I mean, I auditioned for the band. It's a long time ago. 85, October '85. I got the gig in November, and that was it. We started recording. Well, the first 3 songs that we actually did was, we used to live in Harlesden in like a band house. It was like, remember the Young Ones? Their house was like the Young Ones' house. It was just a blitz. Lol was there, who was now the sound guy, lighting guy. It was an incredible situation. And within a few weeks, we'd written Promises, Noms Armo, and Still Life. They were the first 3 tracks that we actually wrote together as a band. And the original demos, I sang them in the toilet in Harlesden Gardens to get that natural reverb sound. So that's a real West London reverb system. But that was it, yeah. In '86 we came to Holland, and the first gig we ever did in Europe was the Paradisa Club.
Oh. And before you joined IQ, were you already a singer, or?
Yeah, I've been singing since 13, 14. I was in sort of local bands in the north of England. Yeah, pretending to be Robert Plant or Geddy Lee or whatever songs we were doing. So I've always been a singer. Always wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
And when Pete left IQ, I saw an advert in, I think it was the Melody Maker or the NME, and I sent a tape in, and they liked it, and they sent me the albums, and I listened to them. I thought, oh, these are crap, I can do a lot better than this. No, I didn't. I thought, no, this is great, we can go somewhere, and I auditioned and got the gig.
Okay. Oh. Well, of course, then, you did 2 albums with them,
yeah.
You toured with them.
Yeah, loved it. Great, good times.
And then, it ended, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
Well, we started. Noms Armo was fantastic. We toured. We supported Magnum, and we came to Europe for the first time and did some great shows and stuff. And went to Germany and Holland especially. And then we had a deal with Peter mentioned Cliff Bernstein's label. Affiliated obviously to Phonogram, but we weren't directly signed to them, and that was really that wasn't a great thing, because we got a record deal via the back door as a kind of favour really. So we never really had the record company sort of buzz behind us. But having said that, we toured and stuff, and we had a great time. So we supported Magnum. That was great. And then obviously we had Terry Brown produced, obviously great producer for Roche and stuff. Did some demos for the album. He loved the sound of it. We recorded I Sitting Comfortably, and it was great. It was well received. We had a play on Radio 1 with Sold on You. We got the Mike and the Mechanics tour, and it was going really well.
Okay. So.
After that, we reached a bit of a sort of a plateau, a bit of a hiatus, and I think the band kind of looked at ourselves and where are we going to go from now? And we kind of all went away and wrote some stuff, came back into rehearsals, and I just didn't like the stuff they were writing, and they didn't like the stuff that I was writing. And I think we kind of got to a parting of the ways. I wanted to sort of build on the strength of I Sitting Comfortably, and I think they wanted to kind of go back to more the sort of traditional prog stuff. Yeah. So we just parted amicably. I left them obviously with Tim.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Okay.
But it was amicable. There wasn't any. It was just that we wanted to use different things. Simple as that.
Okay. Then we take a huge step forward to 2011. Well, 2010 maybe. Because at least for me, it's a bit of out of the blue. Well, you're back with an album, with a band, a tour.
Yeah. A good band, of which there are two fantastic and irreplaceable members here. Keep you awake, Johnny.
But
I know I'm boring, aren't I? I'm sorry, you'll have a turn in a minute.
I can't remember. I was asleep.
I heard a rumor that ever since you kept on writing.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
So
I never stopped writing. I did some stuff with Tim Esau and Gerard Johnson, who played keyboards, and we used his studio. Gerard was the engineer. I stayed friendly with Gerard. He was the engineer on the Namzamo album, and a great keyboard player, producer and stuff. And we got some free time in his studio, so we kind of made the best use of it. And we recorded a few bits and pieces. I wrote the songs and stuff and recorded them. Okay. And then Tim got married, so that kind of, again, we kind of parted. And then I sort of grew a family as well to a certain degree. As some kids came along, etc., etc. And I was just enjoying that whole thing, because I was quite young when I joined IQ. I think we did an awful lot in a couple of years. Yeah. And I felt like I'd missed out a little bit, so that's what I did. I kind of enjoyed family life for a few years. Formed another band in '94, '95. Recorded some more stuff. Okay.
Down here. Feet getting hurt. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, recorded some stuff which I've still got. You know, it was a good little band, and then I kind of left it for a little while. And just did other things.
Yeah. And what was the moment that you decided to release the album?
Back. Well, I actually met a guy, Ian Dimon, who isn't here, but the keyboard player in the band, and we met on a completely separately from anything musically. We met on a training course, and I had a little treble clef earring in that my son had bought me for my birthday, and Ian kind of went, "Oh, are you into music?" And that I was still kind of in the shadows then. I said, "Yeah, I've done a little bit," and Ian being Ian, went straight home and Googled who Paul Menel. He went, "You've done a little bit more than a bit, haven't you?" And he said, "I play keyboards," and I went back to a couple of times. I went back to his place, and I think he sort of re-sparked my you know, my interest in it, and we wrote a few things together, and here we are.
Yeah. I haven't heard the album. I understood it's not yet released.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
I'm not sure whether it exists.
John,
it's fairy dust.
Are you playing on the album as well?
No. I was
just on the
was an afterthought, you know.
Oh,
so because then the question, of course, is it's an interesting combination. I mean, because you're now playing live IQ material that you didn't play when it was released. How
strange is that?
How does it feel for you?
But that was the situation when I joined IQ, to be fair. You know, I was playing IQ material that I loved, but hadn't played on originally.
Yeah.
And you know, let's be fair, Tim now must be thinking, crikey, I've got 19 years worth of IQ material to learn.
That's true.
I wasn't my part, you know, and he's got that history with the band too.
Yeah.
No, you know, the situation with Paul just came completely out of the blue, and it's one of those wonders of the internet.
Yeah.
We started talking over Facebook in the same way as Steve and I did when we got back together again. And I hadn't heard from Paul for so many years. Last time I saw Paul was the gig when he left. I went down with my wife, my now ex-wife, to see the show at the Marquee, and because we'd done the 3 shows, Steve and I, with IQ, supporting with ARC. And got on great, playing football, 6-all.
We had some great games of football,
and,
buddy. Absolutely. Yeah, 6-all, that's what it was.
6-all, yeah. Good jumpers for goal
I'd
posts.
forgotten about that.
And,
You cheated.
I think it was
How long was that extra time? It's a
Right.
Ferguson moment.
You boys were always the best at football.
Very impressive. So it had been a long time, and no one had heard from Paul for that whole period. Since and when he got in touch on Facebook, he was saying, "Oh, we know what you're doing, Paul. I'm putting a band together. Actually, looking for a bass player." And I said, "Well, you know me. I'm always looking for bands." He said, "Well, I said, well, I'm happy to help out. We don't live near me, and you've got a band already." And I explained, that I'm always.
Which was weird because we didn't think I thought you were in London.
Yeah.
And you thought I was in London,
yeah.
and we live about 15 miles from each other.
If that, if that. And we
Okay.
have done
In the
for
middle.
so many years.
Which is bizarre.
It's just amazing how it works out.
So we met up, yeah.
So we went for beer and chatted, and got on really well, and it just went from there.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting story, and well, it shows that
Most of it's true.
most of it.
Every lie he tells is the truth, yeah.
Apart from the tour
Yeah.
schedule.
About the tour schedule, yeah. It's a TM.
It shows that Facebook can really do wonders for music,
So
because
the internet has
Yeah.
totally revolutionised this type of music.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
the way John and I got back together is that I found him on Facebook and said, "Hi, John," I'm
Try to ignore him, but
very hard.
looking for a band, John. Anyone
Internet
who needs a
stalker.
band? And he's like, "Well, I'd like to do something
No,
with
that's
you. Would you
right.
like to do something?"
That's right.
I said, "God, John, yes."
And that was right at the death. That was the 11th hour because we'd already got the gigs booked and stuff. Wasn't it?
No, this was before the
Oh,
Ark
yeah,
reunion.
okay. Oh, the Ark reunion,
So
of course.
what had happened after that is that you got the gigs booked, and you tried to arrange
right.
replacements,
Yeah.
and that all didn't kind of work out. And then I just had a passing comment to John in an email, which was like, well, if you look at those guys, I'm not a bad guitarist. You might think I'm a guitar synth player, but actually, from the finishing of Ark to the reformation, I hadn't walked on stage with a guitar synth for that whole period. I'd been a guitar player.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It shows.
I could have a go at this.
Absolutely. And there we are.
And there we are. And you had 4 weeks
4 weeks, yes.
to learn all the songs.
Incredible, really.
Yeah,
there's not many people that could have done that.
Thank you.
it's
No,
a lot
there's-
of work.
It's
It
a
was
hell
a
of a
lot
lot of work.
Yeah.
It's not just obviously my stuff, but there's a lot of IQ stuff and there's a lot of intricate IQ stuff as well. So he's done bloody
Yeah.
good.
It
Always
was,
done bloody
was throwing in Falling Apart at the Seams at that last moment. That was,
good. Yeah.
I don't need to read a book or switch on my TV. A real life hero I just lost in my family. A great divide between us, but a bridge across the miles is 100,000 memories and smiles. I see him on the mantelpiece, loved ones by his side. I see him in my children, and I feel warm inside. Lose somebody dear to you, you hear them in every sigh. Know then that they're standing nearby. You were a son, you were a brother. Though I hoped and prayed I knew you wouldn't recover. There were times we used to fight, but with a word you'd make.
Now it was an amazing show. I was very happy to be a witness of that. I can only ask the same question the supporting band asked: where do you get the energy from
Really,
to do all that?
It's fantastic.
They're younger than us.
The great thing about Sky Architect, I have to say, they're a lovely bunch of lads and
Really good band.
bloody great
Really good
band.
band.
And I said, how old are you guys? And they said, 23. And I said, well, I was 23 when I first did the Paradiso Club. So well, that's what. And he said, well, where the hell do you get this? And we can't do it. And they're 23 years old. So you can do it if you want to do it.
It's actually monkey glands.
Yeah, sorry about the trousers. Yeah. Tried to hide them.
Okay, so the secret is out then.
My monkey glands. Or yours.
I'm not saying anything about your monkey glands.
Okay,
Yeah.
you've did a couple of shows now. How many more to follow, roughly?
Just tomorrow. And
Just
then
tomorrow.
we're back to Blighty. Which is
Okay.
literally the whole idea was come over, let's get a taste, let's see how things are going, and just really. What has worked more than anything is getting this sort of touring band and gelling as a band. Is this going to work? Is this concept actually going to work? And I think we're still friends, aren't we? Okay, buddy.
We're still talking to each
We're
other.
still talking. Yeah, we got separate bunks, but I mean, we're pushing together at night.
Yeah.
No, we
You're
No,
talking
it's-
now with
yeah,
the cameras, you know.
We haven't got onto the subject of cross-dressing yet, you know, I mean...
No,
Yeah,
really
well,
goes
we
without
could talk
the
about that.
It's an old subject.
But okay, and what are any future plans?
Go on, John. What are you going to do, buddy?
What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go home and make a big cake.
I love it. I love
And,
really
then
cooks.
I like trifle. I'm going to make a big, no, I don't know. I mean, you know, clearly it's up to our glorious leader over here.
That was a pregnant pause. Okay, well, I think are we not going to? I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and we've been recording all these gigs, and we've a couple of little nibbles with the album. And what I'd like to do personally is obviously recording this stuff. I'd like to. I mean, this is the touring band of that album. I mean, the whole idea of doing the album was I didn't really. I wanted to do it completely separate from a band. I mean, I used Gavin Monahan as a producer, and we used session musicians. Actually, Matt Taylor, our saxophonist, he's the only really member of the touring band who's actually on the album.
Okay.
But it's Ian, but yeah.
Of course, Ian. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I forgot about Ian. Better not forget about Ian. Yeah, and Ian. So it was great to actually have almost a finished product to bring to a bunch of guys and get their take on the album and then play it live, rather than do it what you normally do is you have a band together like we did with IQ, or you tour that and then you record it, blah blah. I wanted to do it the other way around. So what I'd love to do is the live recordings, release that at the same time as the studio album, which would be great. So it's a touring band playing that sort of stuff, and then move on, and then the next concert will be obviously us doing it the standard way around, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll write some stuff all together as a band and gig it and record it and do it like the normal people do.
Okay.
If that's okay.
So there's
So
more.
I think go
there's
back.
more
Some
coming.
more. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well that's
Yeah,
very
More
nice.
rehearsals, more gigs. Come back to Europe in a few months.
Okay,
But
well,
it's
that's
onwards
great.
and upwards.
We're looking forward to that.
So are we.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Anything else you'd like to add?
I need a beer.
You need a beer.
Well, I need a beer. No,
I always need a beer,
You always do.
except when it's
I'm
red
glad
wine.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and it's been great for me. Obviously, you know, JJ and stuff is obviously with IQ. He's been here, you know, a lot more frequently. He's got his frequent flyer miles, haven't you, over here or whatever. It's been a while for me, 20 odd years, and I've loved every minute of this. Because Holland is a real special place for me. Because it was the first time, as I said, that IQ came away, and the first country we played was here. So Dutch people have always got a special.
Same here.
Special.
So of the top 5 gigs that I've ever played, the 2 dates I've played in Holland have been the best dates. This one and
Yeah, this one was all 5 of them.
Tilburg.
and Tilburg, Noorderlicht in Tilburg.
Okay.
Noorderlicht, yeah, we played. We played it with Noorderlicht in
Yeah.
87, I think.
I played there with IQ.
I played that with IQ.
Yeah, me.
Well, your version of IQ.
Yeah.
Karaoke band version of IQ.
Oh my god.
Was that John taking your sloppy seconds?
I think he was. How we doing? Are we
I think
allowed
we're
to get
done.
a beer now?
Yeah.